It's your boy Mo Brown,
Your boy Van Deezy.
and we are the Upstate New York Knicks fans. Welcome to the Upstate New York Knicks podcast, where we give you the Knicks take north of Westchester. We are located and recording live from the 315, Syracuse, New York. We were both born in Brooklyn, New York, but however, we are now living life up here in the Q's. You could take us out the city, but the garden is in my heart forever. This podcast is produced by Smooth Family Entertainment. Check us out on Twitter at Smooth Family ENT. Also, be sure to follow the pod at Upstate_Knicks. And you should follow both of us at MoBreezy213 and at Frostmon Guru on Twitter, Instagram, etc. This week was a lot.
It was.
Here we are.
Is it not always a lot?
It always never a little. It's always like honestly, the moment when I knew, I was like, oh, this is what the Knicks playoff should look like, was when out of the blue on a Monday afternoon, they gonna throw Jalen Brunson on the injury report. Like, why y'all adding that stress?
Y'all clearly don't understand that we are the overreacting gods.
We will
overreact to anything.
They just dropped that dynamite. So now he's questionable, but that's just like a good microcosm of what, the year is. Honestly, since we last been here, we done experienced the highs and the lows.
Yep.
So we are recording May 1st. So game 1 versus the Miami Heat was yesterday? Yeah. Sunday afternoon. It was the afternoon. That's why I feel so long ago. It was April 30th. So that game versus Miami. And then 3 days before that on Wednesday, we beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. Gentlemen sweep them as predicted. Yep. Mm-hmm. He checked it them
on this podcast specifically.
In
Knicks in five.
Been saying it for a minute. So it was good to get that validation because I know sport. But yeah, we're gonna go through. We're going to go through all of it. I think it make the most sense to start with game 5, review it. So game 5, we put them out. Put them out.
P-U-T, put.
So Mitchell Robinson is the best center in the basketball league, according to Cleveland. Man, they had him just dominating the boards. It was extra crazy because Julius was hurt. And he still was dominating the boards. We went with the RJ at power forward lineup, and they had 2 7-footers, and it did not even matter. That's how good my guy was playing.
So let's start from the beginning. So yes, we predicted that it was Knicks in 5, and we were confident in that going into game 5. And our boys did not disappoint. And salute to them. The New York Knicks are in the second round. We had a good game from Jalen Brunson, of course. He is him. We had a good RJ game. RJ series came back. Yeah. He heard the slander from Stephen A. Smith. Yep. Stephen A. told him that he needed to be benched, and RJ immediately decided to become Michael Jeffrey Jordan. I don't know. I don't make the rules. The storyline for this game, besides the fact that we put the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5.
Wow.
Was that Julius Randle once again sprained his damn ankle. Same ankle. And if you know anything about an ankle sprain, if you've ever double sprained your ankle, it's so tough.
It's a very painful experience.
The original sprain is already painful. But if you come back and get it again, it's a different level of pain.
Yes. And that's what Julius is enduring right now.
Yeah. Coming off a great first half, it was especially painful to watch. I did not thoroughly enjoy that whatsoever. Not only because I still felt confident that they were getting put in 5. Like let's be clear. 5 was happening. It didn't matter if we had Trevor Keels out there, if we had Daquan Jeffries out there. 5 was happening. We had them.
Yeah. We were the better basketball team.
We were the better basketball team. That was evident. Mitchell Robinson is the father of 2 children.
That
father
man
of 2,
is
Mitchell
a
Robinson.
grown man.
Sending his kids to first grade.
We really had to pack them up in 5, and honestly, they deserved it. Like fans and whatnot, they deserved it. This is the pain y'all get for. Honestly, Cleveland deserves this pain because they wasn't even really looking at Donovan Mitchell like that. Over the summer, they really wasn't. Like they had called out of the deal. They said, "Nah, we backing off." And then Danny Ainge was like, "Oh, you want to piss off the Knicks for no reason?" He's like, cool. "Yeah, we'll give you Lauri Markkanen and all the picks in the world."
Most improved player, Lauri Markkanen.
This is true. Lauri Markkanen is the goods. But no, Danny Ainge didn't want to give them to us, so he gave them to y'all, and y'all was like, "Ha ha!" Now look at y'all, put
in 5.
Y'all did all of that for 11 for 26, 3 for 12 from 3, -8, 28 points on 26 shots. Yuck. extra mid.
He said he felt like he let his guys down after game 4. And that's tough. I'm not going to lie to you, because after game 5, all your guys are in Cabo. It's tough. It's tough.
It really is.
So after we lose, and we're not going to spend much time on these bumps, but after we lose Julius after the half, the main storyline came in was Obadiah Toppin ready? And I'm here to let the congregation know.
Yes.
He was. He was ready. Obadiah Toppin, 12 points in the 3rd quarter.
Just in the third.
On. He cannot be traded.
Yeah.
Obadiah Toppin, 12 points in the 3rd quarter. And there will be much to say once we get into the next series about the usage rate of one Obadiah Toppin.
Yes.
Because I'm here.
It needs to be discussed.
To state my case.
It needs to be discussed.
To the courtroom because it's disgusting. Obadiah Toppin, 12 points in the 3rd quarter.
Yep.
It was the Obi Jalen and Mitch show.
Yep.
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
And we decided we put them in even in the 4th quarter, and I think that this is the blessing and the curse of one Tomas. He played Obi Toppin all 12 minutes of the 3rd. He did not play Obi Toppin in the 4th quarter. Why did he not play? Because he went with the 4-guard lineup.
He loves that lineup.
The 4-guard in Mitch, either Mitch or Hartenstein lineup. That's what he went with.
RJ Barrett at power forward.
Yes. In theory, as shown playing against the Cleveland Cavaliers, it does work. In theory.
It does. Sometimes you can get away from it if a team is absolutely terrible.
And also selling. Down 3-1.
Gave up.
Down 3-1. Gave up. Emotionally wrecked. Destroyed mentally. Stricken.
Damn.
I could see how that would be effective.
Yes.
Because RJ Barrett guarding Evan Mobley at the 4 is kind of nuts when you think about it.
Kind of nuts. There's a lot of this. It's a wild prospect.
It's a wild thing to see on television. I'm just saying. But it worked. I don't know why it worked. Maybe Evan Mobley is not that tough. I don't know.
I think down the stretch of the game, you could see Donny forcing shots, Garland forcing shots. And it was beautiful for me to see. Honestly, probably was more beautiful for you because the offense should have ran through Mobley. He was the only consistent bucket they had, and they just didn't want to let him cook.
It was literally an offense I saw where they dribbled the ball, they dumped the ball off the Mobley, and he was getting 8 points. Easily off just dump offs. And they just said, we're going to continue to
get away from that.
We're going to get away from that and get back to the ISO offense. And that's just so tough. That's just so tough.
Legit. Especially when we trapped everything. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful win. It was at home. Nope, it was not at home. It was in Cleveland. Um, but no, I don't know. It was just something about the way they closed that out that just really felt like New York basketball. Like, I don't know if it was the offensive rebounds. I don't know if it was, the scrappy plays by Josh Hart, but just something about game 5. I just felt like it had to end that way. And it did.
It did. And Donovan is in pain.
Jail.
106.95, man. 106.95. Enough said. Post game, Donovan send us a little motif. Send us a little motif for 2 years of what's to come. Had the locks fitted on from MSG. Had the garden from the Locks versus Dipset.
Yep. So I know Donovan wants to be here. It's clear. He knows. However,
I feel like it's clear is an understatement.
Yes. He's dragging it. Honestly, if I was a Cleveland fan, I would be fed up.
Yes.
I would be real fed. My so-called superstar clearly wants to play for another team.
I got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, my man's out here listening to rap music, and y'all got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I would be perturbed.
So, because this came up on Twitter and I stand by it. I don't know if I saw it and liked it or if I retweeted it, but right now, if you ask me, 1-for-1 trade Josh Hart for Donovan Mitchell, I can't do it.
You can't do it?
I can't do it. 1-for-1, no picks, nothing.
That's
can't do
it. You wouldn't be able to.
I would not be able to let go of Josh Hart for Donovan Mitchell. That's how good a basketball I feel like Josh Hart is playing on both ends of the ball. The man played 47 minutes. So, if Thibs is playing you those minutes, that means he really trusts you. And he's earned that trust. But yeah, Donnie could stay in Cleveland. Get out of here.
Yes.
You had your chance.
JB Bickerstaff? Oh, man.
The worst coach. I'm actually shocked they didn't fire him.
Yeah, that was nuts, bro. I'm not going to lie. That was nuts.
It was really poor coach.
It was a poor coach job. I won't lie. It was a poor coach job. I can't, and it's not even a slander JB, but it was just bad vibes. I'm not going to lie. He saw Donovan Mitchell shoot them into oblivion game 1, made the appropriate adjustment game 2, and he immediately went away from that adjustment.
So that was just a 1-game thing.
Quote of the evening, Jared Allen. The lights were brighter than expected.
Oof.
What a thing to admit publicly.
You could not get that out of me.
What a thing to admit publicly after giving the streets a 4-point, 4 assists, 4 rebound game in 36 minutes of cardio. We love it. Thank you, sir. Enjoy the Maldives. Enjoy the Maldives.
Do you know what it would take to get that out of me? Boy, I would never admit that.
Publicly. It's not like he said it. It's not like he said it in confidence. Not like he said it in confidence to his mans, and his mans went to the media and said, "Yo, Jared said this." Nah, we have actual footage of Jared Allen telling the streets, "Yo, the lights were brighter than expected." That's so tough. That is a trade waiting to happen. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't
gonna hold you. The person that was most pissed when he said that was probably his agent.
Yep. Like, why would you say that? That's not something you say when you want $20 million a year. It's not something you say.
Do you know how hard it is going to be to pay you now?
You already don't shoot. And you already got bullied by Mitchell Robinson.
For 5 whole games.
Nah.
It's hilarious. Put that out there. But I digress. It was beautiful. Like I said, I'm happy we got out the first round. It's the first time since 2013.
Yep.
We beat the Boston Celtics in 6, J.R. Smith and Melo days. And here we are in the second round. So we were the 5th seed and we upset the 4th seed. And honestly, if you looked at ESPN, this really was an upset. 14 of the 17 picked us to lose.
Them to win.
Yes. But our 5-4 upset was overshadowed by
upstaged by an absolute sell job.
The sell job of
Giannis
the year.
And the Milwaukee Bucks. What
high-level sell job.
Freaking sell job. We're here to get off some Milwaukee slander. I'm sorry, I got to get off a little bit of Milwaukee slander.
You are never going to see that again.
Wow. So there's 6 teams in NBA history there's 6 8 seeds in NBA history that have beaten a 1 seed in the history of the sport.
Ever.
In the history of the sport. If I remember correctly, the last one that happened was when Philly beat Chicago, but that was the same year that Derrick Rose tore his shit.
Okay.
He tore his shit in the playoff, I think game 1, and then Philly ended up winning. I remember Iguodala was on that team. And they was bricking, and they almost lost that with no Derrick Rose.
Tough.
So this, and it's not like they won in 7.
They packed them up. They packed them up in 5.
In
Milwaukee.
In 5.
Honestly.
So throughout this week, we saw a Jimmy Butler 56-point game, a Jimmy Butler 44-point game, in which he was telling the best defender in the league, the best perimeter defender in the NBA. That is Drew Holiday. Yeah. He was telling him that he was a bum. He was like he didn't tell him he was a bum, obviously, but he might as well said it. He might as well said, honestly, Drew, you're really a bum. He was telling him he was getting 40 on his head.
Yeah.
Like he did not believe he was good at defense at all. Like I would take strong offense to that. Yeah. If I was Drew Holiday.
Yes. Honestly, he needs to spend the offseason in the weight room because
yes, absolutely.
Jimmy made him look tiny.
Getting 56 on your head is nasty.
Yeah.
Following it up with another 40 burger is even worse. Like, come on, bro.
That means y'all didn't learn.
That man put 90-something points on your head in 2 games.
2 games.
That means you didn't make the necessary. Yes, that means the stakes were high.
So when you play a team back to back, you start to know what they're doing. They knew what he was doing.
Yes,
and they let him do it. Tough.
And it's not like this is the first time they've played Jimmy either. Like they've played. Like let's be clear, Jimmy is 2 for 3 on Giannis right now.
Yeah,
that's nasty. That's nasty, Giannis. That's nasty. They say Jimmy's an all-star. You a superstar.
Yeah,
that man got 2 in your head right now.
Yeah,
and the streets will say, "Yo, it's injuries. He was injured for 2 games." Yeah, but I saw 2-1, and then I saw Jimmy give you 3-1 with Giannis on the floor, and then I saw Jimmy give you 4-1 with Giannis on the floor. And that's no excuse for that. Yeah. At some point in time, Giannis, as the alpha, you got to go over to your coach and be like, "Yo, it's GG's for all this. I don't care what you got going on. Yeah. I'm on him.
We breaking away from the game plan.
We're breaking away from the game plan. This brother got 30. His brother got 30 at the half.
I know we talked all week about how we would live with him getting his, but nobody. But that's it. I'm not with that no more. I'm not going home. I refuse.
I really wonder if Giannis was watching Drew get all these buckets on him and it was breaking his heart. Yeah, like it was nasty work. It was really nasty work. I didn't watch a lot of the games until after the series was over. Like I watched a couple of the highlights, but it was nasty. It was nasty. He was giving. It wasn't like he was out here just cooking. He was just out here getting easy buckets. Nah, these were all tough.
Yes,
like tough pulling. Jimmy don't even shoot threes, and he was pulling threes in niggas' grills. Like come on now, come on.
Like he really made it a mission to get Milwaukee up out of here, and he did. Got Milwaukee up out of here
swiftly.
And now that set up a weird situation where we get home court advantage as the 5th seed.
Yes.
Because that makes sense. No home court advantage in the first round. We get it in the second round. And, we got the Miami Heat. So I know we're going to talk post-game because we should talk post-game. But I want to talk about how in between the series, for starters, there was only like 4 days in between. It was from Wednesday to Saturday. Wednesday to Sunday, which I thought was too quick. I was like, let my boys rest a little. But Giannis was like, nah, I can't even give you a game 6. So
he's a hater.
He's a hater. So now we going right into the series. So I will be honest. Before the series, I had us in 5. Now I might have us in 6 just because the injuries are piling up. And I still think we can win, but if we have half of Jalen Brunson and half of Julius Randle, that's really tough to win. Really tough. And going into the series, we didn't know about Randle's health. We knew he was a game time decision. I kind of thought he was going to play. I really like in my heart, I was like, I think Julius is going to play because he was questionable. And then he was standing and moving around at the end of game 5. So I was like, he's hurt, but boy, gonna be good. It's 4 days. He's Julius. He be fighting through these injuries. And I want to say it was because the game was at 1. So
they told us at about 11.
Yeah, 11 a.m. Yep.
It was GG's for Julius.
It was GG's for Julius, and Obi was going to be named the starter. And here we go. So the rage is still kind of real on this one.
Yeah. So the rage is absolutely real on this one. So just to give a preview, I had Knicks in 5. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of still have Knicks in 5. I do not believe in this Miami team whatsoever. I think that so let's be clear. We lost. All right. We lost game 1. Just to give y'all the synopsis. Knicks lose game 1 to the Miami Heat. No Julius Randle played, and we absolutely could not hit a 3.
Yes.
That's all this to say. I am still not a believer in this Miami Heat team. They did not show me anything yesterday that made me go, we might really be cooked. I'm a believer that we play the series out. Series don't start till the home team wins a road game. I mean, till a road team wins a game. They won a game. Okay, the series has started now. Mm-hmm. I'm confident in our ability because we are the 3rd best road team in basketball.
Yeah. And
we have proven we have won 2 of 3 road games already. So I'm not afraid. I would say this, if we was going into Milwaukee down, and even though they absolutely sold, I would be a little bit more concerned. I'm not super concerned about the fact that we absolutely sold to Miami to this first game, but let's get into it.
Yes.
I needed to get that off my chest.
No, that's real. Honestly, I'm right with you. Where it's honestly, us losing home court advantage is low-key better. I want us to be hungry on the road. I want us to, because we have to win this game too. Honestly, they got to know that this game 2 is the whole season must win. And I'm guessing we're going to get that. But I also think we're going to get that sense of urgency in games 3 and 4 too. Just because, we are better on the road. I don't know what that is. But a couple trends from the game. I know we usually go quarter by quarter, and we can do that. But I want to talk. So, 1, I did not know Kyle Lowry was this good. Kyle Lowry was hooping. Kyle Lowry was 3 for 6 from 3. He hit a step back 3. This is 2018.
This is not your Kawhi Leonard, Kyle Lowry. I'm just putting that on the table.
That was 4 years ago. That was 5 injuries ago.
This is not even your LeBronto Kyle Lowry. This is some super mid Miami Heat level Kyle Lowry who comes off the bench for Gabe Vincent and Max Strus.
I didn't even know he was averaging double digits. Where does this come from?
He's not.
He had 18 versus us, y'all.
These are playoff lines he's getting. He's having a good playoff so far. He's getting playoff lines.
Legit. But yes, him getting 18. Now you go.
You got it. Kyle cooked. Kyle cooked, obviously.
Yep.
Nasty off the bench, 18. Nasty 18, 6 and 5 Kyle Lowry. Just egregious. I hate looking at it.
Another one that so this isn't just agent slander, but this is just he's not like this. Gabe Vincent doesn't average 20. He doesn't
average 20 points a game
for a reason. He's a mid all-time scorer. And he had a game of he's just not that guy. Like, not
25 and 2.
Yeah.
25 and 2.
Boy had 25 dimes, 2 boards, plus minus, plus 11. Like, he was hooping. And, like, I'm giving him his flowers. Like, boy was doing it. But I don't know if he can do it again. And, like, it was a 7-point game, but it really kind of felt like we was in it till the end, till, like, the final 3 minutes or so. But so much went right for them, and so much went wrong for us. And we still was there.
Yep.
And that's why the rage is like subsiding, but at the same time,
it's still present.
It is still present. This is what is up with Tomas Thibodeau.
You maniac. I'm back. Playoff edition.
Playoff edition.
The Maniacal Rotations is coming up. We're going to get into it. But let's start off with the first quarter. First quarter, we are cooking. We give it to them. The Maple Mamba. Yes, the Maple Mamba.
Yes.
Maple Mamba took over the first quarter.
Oh, yeah. That was probably the best quarter of his career. Like, that first quarter, he was hooping.
Yes. So we saw every good side of Rowan Barrett Jr. that I never thought I saw. I literally put in both group chats, I've never seen this Rowan before. It was Rowan Butler. It was Rowan Paul. It was like it was ridiculous. It was like it was the student becoming the teacher. He was cooking. He was cooking. He was hitting everybody with Jimmy Butler-esque moves. He was making all the right decisions.
Yep.
Kicking out to the corner when he needed to. It was ridiculous. I was like, yo, this is the most high energy, high effort, high intelligence Rowan Barrett quarter I've ever seen in my life. And I want more of it. I want more of it. It was insane. It was insane. It was like he literally saw the fact that they started Gabe freaking Vincent and Max Strus and was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Because let's be clear, Erik Spoelstra, he is smart at basketball, good at the sport, good at coaching the sport, very good at coaching the sport.
He understands the sport.
Do you know what Erik Spoelstra did fresh out the gate, which is what a smart coach would do? He put his best defender on Jalen Brunson. This is what Cleveland did not do.
Yes.
Cleveland wanted to roll out Isaac Okoro and Chetty Osman and try to put Darius Garland on Jalen Brunson. And Jalen Brunson said, chips.
But Miami said, we're not letting one dude beat us.
They saw the tape. They literally saw the tape. They literally saw Jalen Brunson absolutely cook the guards of the Cleveland Cavaliers and said, we're not doing this. Let's just put Jimmy on him to start.
Yes. And they did.
And they did. And it was smart. And Rowan Barrett Jr. said, hold up. It's time. It's time. And he cooked up. I'm going to the rack.
Yeah.
I'm pulling and I'm making good decisions. And I was like, this is phenomenal. This is phenomenal.
And Obi was hitting. Like, we were hitting the threes. Like, when he would kick it out, he would kick it to shooters that were hitting the shots.
Yes.
It was a successful strategy. And then the second quarter happened. And we just got away from it.
Of course.
For no particular reason.
So let's be clear. First quarter, we up 10. Yes. I'm thinking at this point, and this is the Cardinal Center being a Knicks fan, is that, and this is what people say about us. So we are rationally confident by nature. It makes it makes sense to me. We're New Yorkers, but we're rationally confident by nature. After the first quarter, I'm thinking like, oh my God, do I dare use the S word? Do I dare use the S word? And I did it. But after the first quarter, I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
We look very good, and Julius Randle is not on the court.
Yeah.
They are losing to the running gun Knicks.
Yes.
Like, we didn't even have to hit them with the ISO offense yet. The fourth best offense in basketball.
Y'all are getting the knockoff version of the offense and still getting cooked. But it didn't persist. So at some point, they on ESPN they say it was halftime, but I feel like it was before halftime, if I'm being honest. But at some point, Erik Spoelstra, Jimmy Butler, just everybody playing for Miami, Bam Adebayo, they all just got together and they said, hey, let's just hang out in the paint Yes. Ole scoring happens in the paint.
Yeah.
And they really put 5 bodies in the paint on every drive. And I want to say there was 3 possessions in a row. I don't know if it was right before the half or right after the half, but Obi got wide open threes, like comical wide open, stand still, catch and shoot, closeout coming late threes. And we could not hit those. We just had, I don't know if it was cold in the garden. I don't know if, folks was bugging out, but I do know that in the first, we could not hit a 3 in the second half.
It was ridiculous.
Like if you look at the line, it really doesn't make back up. Let's say you didn't watch game 1. You didn't watch game 1 and you asked me, you was like, yo, Breezy, how the game went? And I said, Brunson went 0 for 7 from 3. Hart went 0 for 4 from 3. RJ went 1 for 5. And Kyle Lowry had 18 points. If I told you that, what would you think the score was? Because I know
a lot to a little.
A lot to a little. I really would have been like, oh man, Kyle Lowry had 18. They must have had 120. we didn't hit a 3-pointer. We must have had 94. And that wasn't the case. It was like a close game. We hung around the whole time, even though we played horrendously. With that being said, we played horrendously.
Absolutely, man.
It was
what a big game.
So bad. We were out-coached. We were outsmarted on the court. There was like 4 possessions in the third quarter where Kevin Love was Aaron Rodgers. Just going
literally,
deep.
Literally.
Like Jimmy Butler mossed Obi.
Crazy.
Like, son,
I won't lie to you. Seeing like 5 to 6 straight possessions of Kevin Love getting like 5 assists down the court, it was so frustrating.
So frustrating.
It was so frustrating because it was like, y'all know, first of all, you got to read the scouting report. Mm-hmm. Like everybody and their mother know that the 3 things Kevin Love is good at. It's 3 things. It's only 3 things he's good at.
He's not good at the entire sport.
He's not good at the entire sport. He's made an all-star. He's made all his money off being good at 3 things. And I tell you kids, if you out there, if you're good at more than 2 things at the sport of basketball, you can make more than $100 million. Kevin Love is good at 3 things. He's good at shooting threes. Smart. Yes. It's a smart thing to do. He's good at rebounding the basketball. Smart. Another thing to do. And he is
valuable.
Excellent at the outlet pass.
Yes.
Did y'all not watch when Braun was, when it was not Jimmy Butler and it was Braun?
Yeah.
Or Kyrie?
The man has been doing this for a while.
For a while.
And the fact that we didn't see it coming was very concerning.
It was insane to watch on television. It was very insane to watch. I was like, what am I watching? We know the scouting report. They're leaking. If Kevin Love is on the court and you see somebody leak, you have to go back.
You have to.
I was only mad at Obi for the simple fact that this is the Obi top in play.
Yeah.
This is the Obi top in play. Obi is leak poppy.
This is true.
If
anybody
leaks,
should know better, it's him.
He leaks better than one would say Carmelo used to leak. Because my man Melo used to leak Melo used to get 12 points off the leak out.
Smart,
used to get 12 points off the leak out.
Easy buckets.
You feel me? So it's like, you notice, and it's hard to put a lot of blame on Obi. You know, you thrust into the situation and you was performing. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes your defense is not up to par, but this is why I've been campaigning the entire year. You got to put the brother in the game for more than 14 minutes.
Legit. You can't get into rhythm.
You got to get into rhythm. So to prepare him for moments like these, you can't just put all your eggs in 42 minutes of Julius Randle and think that's not the case. Yes. Even if you put him on the court with him, Julius out there, he's one of your best 9 players. I got him at least top 7 players on the basketball team. Yeah. So you have to understand what you're doing.
It's frustrating because like that. So being outplayed sucks. Let's be clear. Being outplayed sucks. Being outplayed and outcoached.
Are we here? All right, we here. I'm sorry. We here. All right. Welcome to the playoff edition of Thibs Maniacal Rotations. I'm your host, Ham Van Dam, Van Deezy Guru, whatever you want to call me. Yeah, man. I'm here to talk about man, Tomas Thibodeau, the maniac, and his maniacal shit that he be doing that just make you go, why, Tomas? Why did you do that? It did not make sense. So today we are discussing how badly Eric Spoelstra outcoached Tom Thibodeau in the second half. It was insane. We were up 55-50 going into the second half. RJ Barrett literally said on the broadcast, we know the Miami Heat are not going to go away. They're going to come out with mad energy because this is what they do. He said this.
Verbatim.
RJ, not to be disrespectful, is not the highest IQ player on the basketball team. If RJ, not the highest IQ player on the basketball team, is acknowledging this, I am going to put on the table that this was a topic of discussion during halftime. So why do we decide to absolutely fold into the plan?
Sam.
That's not to say the transition buckets were absolutely nasty. Eric Spoelstra made the adjustment, like you said, to go and pack the paint. He didn't really make a big adjustment. He was playing 2-3. Yeah. This is what 2-3 looks like. 2-3, and everybody who has played any level of basketball knows what 2-3 is. It is two guards at the top, two forwards on the side, and the big man in the middle. How do you beat the 2-3? I'm letting you guys know we are in Syracuse, New York. Literally, the godfather of the 2-3, Jim Boeheim, thank the Lord he's retiring this year, literally plays 2-3 for 47 years. How has Jim Boeheim lost games? He has lost games by people shooting the 2-3 out of existence and moving the ball faster because the ball moves faster than the man. Yes. So if the ball sticks, the 2-3 is going to work. Yeah. So Tomas, an actual NBA basketball coach of the year in 2020, I'm sitting here like, there's no way in hell that Tom Thibodeau does not know how to beat a 2-3. That just does not make sense to me. Now, if we're looking at this and we know that we're not shooting well, cool. All right. I'm not mad at that. I don't care. This is Steph Curry's NBA. Shoot all of the threes if they're open. If they're open, shoot all of them. If they're going to leave you open, I do not care. Shoot every single one of them open. Yes. I saw so many people on Knicks Twitter talking about, yo, attack. No, that is what they want you to do. They literally, the problem is that the shooters were not getting open to be the shooter. The only person that was getting open to hit the shot was Obi Toppin. He was hitting them. Yes. Everybody else that was getting open to hit the shots were not hitting them. Jalen Brunson, 0 for 7. Oh my God. If Jalen Brunson is 1 for 7, 2 for 7, baby, we win the game. If Josh Hart is 1 for 4, 2 for 4, like we win the game. Like we did not shoot well. And that is the bottom line. We did not shoot well. But as a coach, there are so many other ways to beat a 2-3. Yes. You have Jokic Light.
I don't understand. It's so simple. Put him around the free throw line and let him pick and choose.
He could literally pick between 3 people to pass the ball to. I don't understand if we're not watching the same basketball that Tom Thibodeau is watching. I'm telling y'all, I would have literally just sat Hartenstein on the high post and he would have averaged 10 assists. I'm just watching it on the television, and this is not me, a basketball savant mind. I'm not a coach. I'm just using common sense as somebody who has played basketball before in a team setting. You beat the 2-3 in the high post. Literally, as soon as that 2-3 comes, Bam is going to have to step up, and I promise you, unless Jimmy Butler has to, and I would pass it every time to the side that Jimmy Butler's not guarded, and it would be so easy. And you know why it would be easy? Because then they would have to literally, like, as soon as they realized Jalen Brunson was not hitting his shots, they went to the 2-3.
Yeah,
they literally went to the 2-3. They're not doing that in game 2 because Jalen Brunson is going to hit his shots.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to adjust. It was insane. It was like they were playing boxing one when like, it was like, bro, it's so easy to beat a zone. Like, it's not hard, bro. It's 2023, bro. You got to shoot them out the gym. And if it's not your night, it's not your night. But we were walking into the paint, bro.
Yes.
Watching, getting stripped. We got stripped like 4 straight times in the fourth, and it was blowing minds. I was like, bro, you're running right into the wall. This is what Giannis does. Like, Giannis just runs into the wall. That's how they beat Giannis the first time. They literally built the wall and was like, yo, if Giannis comes in his paint,
he's going to
get. We're not letting him through. And then he's going to have to hit his free throws. Like,
it was a genius strategy.
Tom.
It was frustrating for so many reasons. One, stakes was so high. 2, like, nobody was hitting shots. Obi was shooting 4 for 11. So that's right about at league average. He was the only one who was able to get open at 3, and they were giving us the 3. Like, literally, if you gave the ball to Isaiah Hartenstein, who only played 14 minutes. Like, Thibs really just didn't play him, and he's the perfect person to go against the 2-3. But if you just gave it to him, top of the key area, literally, whoever's on his right and left is going to have to guard both a shooter in the corner and a cutter.
Yes.
like they have to guard both. It's 1 on 2. All we got to do is figure what he does and give it to the other guy.
Yes.
And the other guy will have a wide open shot. And in the NBA, if you can consistently get wide open shots, it's going to pay off. But instead, we decided to do power on power, kept trying to force into the paint, getting ripped. We wasn't getting no calls, and that is a thing. They took 9 more free throws than us. But it was just frustrating because we knew we wasn't getting no calls. Like, we knew that at halftime. Like, we knew, like, this
was information that was told to us immediately, bro.
Legit.
We knew this. That was the most frustrating about it. Like, we were complaining about calls. We knew we weren't going to get no calls. Like, it was just nasty work all around because all we had to do, and that's not to say nothing. Like, this is a part of the reason. Like, I'm really treating this game kind of how I felt about game 2. And we don't talk about game 2. And we really only talk about this game because it's game 1.
Yeah.
But it's the same way I felt about game 2.
Yeah.
Like,
too many anomalies.
A lot of things went too wrong at the same time. Like, for me to take this data and think it's something.
Yes.
Like, that's how I feel about it. Like, I don't take this data and I think it's something. Like, we collapsed. It was a collapse. That's just the reality of it. We did not make adjustments. We got outcoached. We got outplayed. Okay, we move on to game 2.
Yeah.
But
if you look at the game in any kind of microcosm, like, so, like, if you look at, like, our shooters, who are Quentin Grimes, Quickly, Josh Hart, Brunson, our shooters, the entirety of them hit 2 threes. Like, I've seen Brunson get 2 threes in 2 plays. Like, just back to back. I've seen Quickly do that a lot, actually, because he's a nut and he'll just keep chucking. But for all of our best shooters to shoot horribly at the same time, I think is an incredible coincidence that I can't see repeating itself 4 times. Like, just that one thing. Because if we just correct that one thing, then we good. But there's other things we can correct. We couldn't make a free throw. If we correct that, we're going to be a little better. Jalen Brunson was an absolute bum with 5 turnovers.
Absolute.
Like, if we correct just one thing, we going to be a lot better.
And you know we are a pro Jalen Brunson podcast.
Yes. So if we say he was a bum, he was a bum.
He was an absolute bum. It was insane to watch. It was like he had 15 points in the first half, and I promise you, you couldn't have told me that. Yeah. Like I could not tell. I could not tell he was getting chips.
Yes.
Like I was trying to figure out where the chips was coming from because it didn't feel like he was getting chips to me. Like did you feel like throughout the game, like there was a Jalen Brunson moment where Jalen Brunson just had like 8 straight? Like that's what I feel like the chips is here.
Yeah. And we know he can do that.
We've seen it. And I'm not in the belief that Gabe Vincent was the one who stopped it. Yes. Or Max Strus or that significant difference. As my man said after the game, it was uncharacteristic. I love that word. I love that. I was like, oh, that's some king shit right there. That man said that was so uncharacteristic. He didn't even know. He didn't even recognize himself. He didn't even recognize himself. And that's good because I ain't recognize you either, King.
Yeah.
I ain't recognize you either. That was nasty work.
He gonna have to prove me wrong because I still don't believe in him. If he averages 20 every game, I'll buy a Gabe Vincent jersey.
Oh, I don't believe in Gabe Vincent, not even a little bit.
Not even a little bit. I don't think he'll get 15 again, let alone 20.
Yes, I think he was a victim of circumstance.
Yes.
I think he was a victim of circumstance. I think that was some good circumstance he had there.
Yep.
He was a victim of us being absolute salesmen.
Absolutely terrible.
And he capitalized. So tip off of him. It's game 1.
Yep.
It's game 1.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, it's game 1. Yeah, we gotta understand that this is a series.
Mm-hmm.
Best of 7. First to 4 wins.
Yeah.
We're good. We're good.
I'm with you where I think we're good. So I always had us winning either game 4 or 3 and game 6. So there was a point where I was like, this might go to 7. And the only reason I thought it might go to 7 was because Randall's health. And I just know that Eric Spoelstra is going to out coach us every single game. Like I just accepted that he was going to do the smart thing every game. And every game, we were not going to adjust to the smart thing. Like, I'm mentally prepared for 7 games of that. I don't think it would have been enough to win just because I think Jalen Brunson is better than everybody on Miami, including Jimmy Butler. And I think that the best player on the court usually wins in basketball. And I think that Jalen is going to step up to the challenge. And I think he's about to start hooping. He's gonna figure it out. I think he's gonna shoot a lot more going forward.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm not panicking. I am going with us in 6. More because the injury stuff with Jalen. If Julius was healthy, I probably would have had us in 4. I definitely think we win yesterday if Julius plays, which is another factor that is hard to replicate for 4 games. So I'm not panicking. Nope. Guru not panicking. Guys, don't be absolute butt cheeks. Again,
just don't be ass.
Just don't
be ass.
Just wake up Tuesday morning, look yourself in the mirror, to go to the closet
and cook.
Find your ass outfit and don't put that one on.
Leave that one far away.
Leave that at the hotel.
Save that for the off season.
Yeah.
You don't even want that.
Calm. But you up.
Yeah. No, I was saying, so I feel like a big storyline in this game, and even as we transition into talking about like how the rest of the series we think is gonna go, is that injuries are dictating. It looks like injuries are gonna dictate this series early.
Yep.
It
looks like injuries is plaguing the whole league. So
it is. But that's why you have depth.
We know
that's why you have depth.
Yep.
We are we're no different to anybody else out here.
Mm-hmm. The trials and tribulations come for us too.
Yes.
Philadelphia out here getting buckets without JoJo. So if
they took a victory on the Celtics tonight.
Yeah. So if they could overcome, next man up.
And Jim Harden is a bum, so
he was hooping tonight. I gotta give him his flowers. I gotta give him his flowers. He was cooking.
Y'all know I don't like James Harden like that, but he was cooking up tonight. I was like, sheesh.
he was cooking, and honestly, Tyrese Maxey was trying to lose it for him.
Absolutely,
he was working, and I was like, boy, he's hot.
It was a nasty work because Malcolm Brogdon was also trying to lose it for the Celtics, but
bum off. But no,
bum off was crazy.
Making the point that you're gonna have to overcome injuries in the playoffs, and that's what we're gonna have to do. Yep. So Julius didn't play like we said, so he's still questionable going into game 2. So as of the shooting of this podcast, it's 11:04 May 1st night. We still haven't gotten any, clear indication on him. Earlier today, they mentioned how Jalen Brunson is now on the injury report. So that's 2 of our best guys,
our two very best guys.
Yeah, on the injury report. And this don't even count. Mitch was grabbing his hip.
Yeah.
Josh, his ankle towards the end of the season.
It's the playoffs, baby.
It's the playoffs. And honestly, like you said, this is what's going to define the series because now they got big injuries.
Yep. Jimmy is injured. Tyler Hero is out. Yep. Mo's biggest rival.
Honestly, they lucky.
Because I know you wanted him in this series.
I wanted him in this series. One, because I know he's going to bum it when it counts. I want him on the court when it's time to bum it.
Yes. So Jimmy is injured. He rolled his ankle, pushing off on Josh Hart. They called it a foul. It was really an offensive foul. They called it a foul on Josh Hart, by the way.
Josh Hart for getting pushed.
And Jimmy stepped on Josh's foot and rolled his ankle. It's a big storyline because it absolutely contributed to our fourth quarter sale because we made the conscious decision once again, Thomas Thibodeau, to not attack a person who has on a bum ankle and clearly is not moving. Right? He literally switched RJ off.
Yeah, I feel like it was like a sportsmanship thing.
No, it's the playoffs.
What are y'all doing?
It's the playoffs. I want to see no sportsmanship.
Like, that's really what it felt like to me. And that's why it was blowing my... It felt like they was like, all right, we know he hurt. We're not going to go right at him.
Oh, go
immediately at...
The funny shit about that is that if you know Jimmy Butler, Jimmy Butler is the exploiter of the mismatch. That's what he does. He literally made all his money being the master of exploiting the mismatch. If Jimmy Butler saw Jimmy Butler with a broken with a sprained ankle, Jimmy Butler would literally put Jimmy Butler in the ISO in the post for the rest of the game. Yeah. RJ Barrett should have literally said,
"Yes,
yo, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Anybody, I don't care. RJ, Jalen, anytime you want to play 2-3, I'm going over that side. Yeah, you're gonna have to guard me. You're gonna have to guard me." If
honestly, I would have been okay if Brunson just went over there and just dribbled a lot.
Yes, literally, just to get him tired. just scrape him one time. Yeah, scrape him one time.
Let's test out the ankle. Let's see what it is.
Let's see your lateral quickness right now. Yes. I would have did it. He'd have got it for at least a minute and a half out of the 5 minutes. He'd at least, what are you doing?
The coach would have wanted to take him out. If it's me, the coach would have wanted to take him out.
And the way that they talking about how his ankle look now, they said it's swelled up the size of a tennis ball. So that means that he got that's either a high ankle sprain or like the mid ankle sprain. That means he needs to ice it. He needs to be round the clock treatment.
Yep.
They got Jimmy questionable for Tuesday. I don't trust Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is playing. Y'all better be prepared for that.
Yeah.
If you think Jimmy Butler is not playing, I'm sorry to tell you, he's playing. And if he don't play, that means that they giving us a game, and I'm okay with that. And that means we need to go take that game. It's the playoff.
It's the playoff.
That means his joint is really hurting.
Yeah.
Because if Jimmy Butler
wants to play,
he wants to win 2-0. He wants to go up 2-0. Yeah. He's not an idiot. He knows that he has 4 games off till Saturday. Game 3 is not till Saturday. That's just smart, intelligent, common sense.
If I really want this win, I can just go hard today.
And I will literally do nothing for the next 4 days until it's time to suit up for the next game.
For the rest of the week.
Yes.
So we'll see what they end up doing. If he's playing and we don't run ISO at him every single play in the first quarter, I'm gonna be fed up. Like
we're not playing good offense.
We're not playing good offense. Either ISO right at him or put him in the pick and roll. If they in the 2-3, run the ISO from the corner. Like just switch the side.
Please.
It's not
That's
impossible.
All I ask. It's not a hard thing to do.
Make him work. So yeah, Jimmy Butler. So he had a solid game. You playoff Jimmy. That's what Giannis done give birth to. Giannis decided not to guard. So now we got to deal with playoff Jimmy, and he's good. The man is very good at basketball. However, I don't think he's this good. We didn't even have Julius. We held him to 25. He had 11 boards. He had a lot of points in transition. Like, Kevin Love really was just doming him for a bit there. It was frustrating. He played 43 minutes. He has a bad ankle. Going 43 minutes again on a bad ankle. I don't know if they win another game this series. I don't know if I'm just being overly confident, but a lot went right for them. And I can't see it happening again. But yeah, we don't know with any of the injuries, so we might get everybody playing tomorrow, and then we also might get nobody's playing
tomorrow.
We got to be ready for both. What else? Is it time? Do we have any other topic?
Oh, it's time. It's time.
It is time for the Rowan Report.
The Rowan Report.
Hello, my name is Mo Brown. I am RJ Barrett's #1 fan. I am his #1 fan by virtue of latitude. I'm the closest to Canada, therefore I win. As RJ Barrett's #1 fan, I've been his fan since the U17. I watched him on the international stage. I was like, damn, boy, can hoop. I'm one of the few Knicks fans that got hyped when we didn't get the #1 or 2 pick that year, because I knew they were going 1, 2, 3, regardless of the picks. And I wanted RJ, and we got him. And I was excited because I think this kid has potential to be the one. Over these last 2 games, the potential is being realized. RJ Barrett is hooping. Okay. The second half of game 2, just hard stop. The hooping. But for 6 of the 8 quarters, the boy was hooping. It's very frustrating because in those 6, he was great. And in those 2, he was terrible. And there truly is no in between. Like, he did not go from 100 to 80 to 60. No, he went from 100 to 20 right away, slammed on the brakes. But if I'm looking at the games by themselves, I'll go with, I'm going to do Cleveland first, give y'all the line. I got to pull it up because I'm selling. I'm selling crazy. I'm going to have to cut this out. Cleveland Cavaliers, game 5. So RJ in game 5 had, okay, he didn't have 20 points. He did, though. See, I got to look at the box score. I was trying to guess.
You were trying to cook up.
Selling. Yeah, he had 21. I was about to say. Yeah. He had 21 and plus 21. the like headline on ESPN read like mad weird. But no, game 5 versus Cleveland, RJ Barrett, 21 points, 4 assists, 4 boards, 4 turnovers. Didn't like that. 2 for 4 from 3. Loved that. 5 for 6 from the free throw line. He understands basketball. I think we're going to get this as playoff series go on. In the playoffs, your IQ really matters because there's going to be adjustments. How you adjust to the adjustments is what's going to, separate good teams from great teams. I think we have the potential to be a great team because I think RJ Barrett is a great player. I think his IQ, his ability to say, okay, they don't want me to go left. All right, I'm a fake left, go right, but still finish with my left because now you gave me a step on you. Like, he's just in another mental space. And in this Cleveland game, we saw it. I never was worried in the Cleveland game. There was never a point where I was like, oh, they really might get this. Even when they came back and took the lead, Like, I feel like they took the lead or they came close to taking the lead, and I still didn't believe it. And I was right. But
you were correct to make that assumption.
I was correct to make that assumption. But yes, for Cleveland, that's the stats. And then I'm going to pull up for Miami versus the Heat. RJ had 26. Yep, 26 on 20 shots. Most of them in the first half. 9 boards, 7 assists, 4 turnovers again, which is becoming a pattern. He had 1 steal. I won't show them his steal, but 1 for 5 from 3, 5 for 8 from the free throw line. So he left 3 just on the free throw line. Played 40 minutes. I think Thibs has to stop that. I do. 7-game series, 6-game series, burning your guys out, making them play 40 plus minutes is not gonna work out. But overall, I think RJ did his part. I'm going A- for this week because he absolutely disappeared in the fourth. I do blame him, but I more blame that on Thibs because we just never adjusted. You could put RJ in that top of the free throw line spot. Like, anybody with court vision that can make a pass over a guard or, around a guard can be in that spot. But I digress. He takes some of the slander. He still had a very good week. A- from Breezy.
All right. So I'm giving RJ B+. I loved his Cleveland game. As I said, the Cleveland series was a good series for RJ. RJ got home. Stephen A. Smith slandered him to greatness. If that's anything he's useful for, he did absolutely slander him into greatness because RJ even acknowledged as much that he heard the slander and that the slander was received.
Yeah.
So I give him credit for the Cleveland series. I think that we don't win it without a good RJ series, which is not something I thought I would be saying. I thought that have a good RJ series would be a plus to be in Cleveland, not absolutely integral. So I give him his credit for that. He gets an A for the series for me, even wiping out the bad game 2, and we don't talk about game 2. And the game 1 that I thought was okay, but y'all thought was super bad, with 3 straight A+ games. So I give him credit for that. For the Miami game, first half A+ again. I loved his first half. Thibs sat him for like 8 minutes in the second quarter. It was ridiculous. I do not understand Tomas. And that's when they started making their run. And as soon as RJ came back in the game, he started giving chips out again. And I was like, okay, good half. I cannot give him a good grade for that second half. That was such a bad second half. It was a tale of 2 halves for Rowan Barrett Jr. That's just the reality of the situation. He confirmed some of my greatest hopes in the first half and confirmed some of my greatest fears in the second half. That with all said and done, like, it's the decision making over and over with RJ. He showed that he showed, and I give him his credit that it's getting the ratio is getting a little better. And I gotta give progress it's due. You get what I'm saying? Like,
my man has been working on this.
Yes. It used to be a quarter, now we got it down to a half. Let's get 3 quarters in. You feel me? Can we get 3 quarters in? That's what I'm asking for.
3 quarters of solid basketball. Not much.
Second half was no bueno. It really wasn't, especially the fourth quarter. Dribbling into the wall. He was victim of it. Jalen was victim of it.
Consistently too.
Like RJ down the stretch, he turned the ball over like 4 straight times. It was I think it was 2 turnovers and 2 really bad shots.
Yeah,
and I was
he
like
got ripped by Kyle Lowry. Like, Kyle Lowry, age 36,
offensive foul on the screen. I was like, oh my God, RJ, you are just leading the implosion. That's one thing he was doing. He was leading the implosion. But I'm not going. But because I'd say I don't put too much stock into one game. This is a series. Not going to put too much stock into the game. He was a part of a group sale that wasn't as egregious as Game 2 Cleveland. But just as effective. That is the tough part about it. So I'm gonna give RJ a B plus. Please give me more game 5 RJ, game 4 RJ, and game 1 first half RJ, please and thank you.
Yes.
And we will be fine. We'll be fine. Like I said, I just don't believe in Miami at all.
Same. I'm right with you. So, and honestly, that goes into
perfect segue.
Perfect segue as we segue to the previews.
Previews.
So tomorrow is game 2. Like we've been saying, Julius questionable, Brunson questionable, Jimmy Butler questionable. A couple of our guys are banged up. I'm expecting another scrappy game. So my estimation of Miami, and it's weird that we're on this side of it, but they have to outwork you to win. And that's our MO. Like, they have to outwork us. Like, we have more talent on the court than they have talent on the court. And they need to get scrappy. They got to get fast break buckets. They got to get to the free throw line. Like, they need to really beat us to beat us.
Yes.
And they really beat us. And they got a game on the road. They stole one. However, I don't think this is going to be a pattern. I really don't. So I got us winning game 2. I got us winning game 2 comfortably. I think it's going to be fun in the fourth quarter. I think that it's going to be to the point where they sit Jimmy, partially because his ankle, but also that they like, all right, it's over while we playing this. I'm expecting a huge game from Jalen Brunson. Huge. I'm going over 31. That's what I think Jalen Brunson
is. Lock it in.
Yeah, lock it in. If the over-under is anything 31 or under, I think you should take it. They have no answer for Jalen Brunson if he's hitting his 3. He knows that. He's going to watch film, and he's going to see how if he just did a pull-up on his drives, he would have gotten a lot of better looks.
Yeah. He's the mid-range king.
He's the mid-range king.
Him and Chris Paul.
And we've seen him do it all year. And I also think he's a high IQ basketball player, which is why he also got better as the series went on.
Yep.
And I think that his explosion is going to be the reason this game gets out of hand. And then I think the bench just going to keep it rocking. So, yeah, that's my assessment.
My assessment is that, yes, it's going to be a big Jalen Brunson game. I think it's going to be a big Obi Toppin game again. I think that Miami is not a run and gun team. Like, they're not trying to run. Like, that's why the fact that they were getting transition points was nasty. Like,
very annoying.
Like, I think Obi watched the film. If you get a good Obi game, you see all them leaks that was happening. That's your bag. That's your bag.
Yeah.
And I think that he hits his 3s, and I think that we don't shoot 6 for whatever, 7 for whatever from the field again, because you just cannot shoot that badly from 3 and expect to win a basketball game. Like, that's just not how it works in Steph Curry's NBA. It's just not how it works. Fact. So I don't think that we absolutely sell like we did yesterday. I think it's going to be iffy. It's probably be game time decision with Julius Randle. I'm on the fence. If the ankle, like if he was close to playing on Sunday and they sat him, I would not mind him playing tomorrow. I would not mind him playing tomorrow. If it's still like, still a little like I need a cut. I might need another day or so. Just set him until Saturday. I think we got enough to get it done. I'm confident that we got enough. Like, we were putting them in the first half. Like, that has to be stated. That was happening. That was happening. Even if we was up 5, like, I still felt confident. Like, they really didn't have nothing to do to us. It was just all the self-infliction shit that came back to bite us. That it ended up with them stealing the game. And I still think that we are more than capable of getting a game and getting this series back 1-1 before we go to Miami.
Yep. Honestly, perfect transition.
I'm gonna stand on that.
Honestly, perfect transition. Because we got 3 before we see y'all again. So game 4 is dreaded. Game 4 on a Monday, a day we record.
Oh my God.
When I saw that, I was like, man, we might need to reschedule.
I want you to know something. When I saw the schedule, I was like, I would love for us to be 2-1 going into game 4 at the minimum. Yes. That's what I wanted going into. And I'm going to stand by that. Going into game 4, I would like us to win game 2 and win game 3 for the simple fact that game 4 is on record day. Nothing else, no other logic whatsoever that combat it. But the simple fact that game 4 is on record day and we are we have won 2 games the entire season. 2 games, y'all. The entire season on record day. It's not an accident. I'm just putting that on the table. It's not an accident. We need no games on Mondays forever.
Something about Mondays just not our day.
It's not.
Oh.
We are dreading the game 4. Get us to 2-1. But that's not to say game 3, Saturday, another afternoon game. I don't love it being at 3:30, but
we prime time. I get
it. I'm also don't love it being on ABC because I think they're gonna send Brini to freaking Braun versus Steph.
Oh yeah,
because he's the A team.
Yeah,
we might get Mark Jones. I like Mark Jones. He got a couple bars, but we miss you, Clyde. I know you on vacation somewhere, somewhere warm and whatnot. But.
Legit, honestly, Clyde would have just changed the whole momentum because it's something about watching the game on ABC. It's just it don't hit like
nasty. I don't want to hear Doris Burke tell me about how Jimmy Butler is the best player since sliced bread. Like I don't want to hear that from Doris Burke. That's not what I want to hear.
It's a fact,
that's not the content that I want.
It's not what I'm trying to crave in this moment. But no, for game 3, first game in Miami, I have us winning in 6. I think we're gonna lose game fucking 4. But because game 4 is on record day, I feel terrible about that. I just don't feel confident. I do think we get games 2 and 3. I hope Julius is healthy by game 3. And with a healthy Julius, I don't think this series is competitive. If Julius and Jimmy got healthy, I think that we sweep them. Like, I think we put them. So from game 3 forward, I don't have us losing. The only reason I have us losing game 4 is because it's on record day.
Yeah, literally. And I want to make that very clear.
Not basketball related.
It's not basketball related at all. It is the simple fact that it is on Monday when we record. And it will finish up. It will literally finish up around the time we press record. So the emotions will be raw. They will be raw and they will be uncensored. And I know y'all are going to enjoy that.
Yes.
Whatever the outcome may be.
Yes. But, Knicks for clicks.
LOL Knicks. What a week for Knicks Twitter. Knicks Twitter, oh man, you guys are the best. So I put a quote that Knicks Twitter, if you know Knicks Twitter is going to overreact, and that's just the beauty of Knicks Twitter.
Yep.
If you don't understand it, I don't expect you to. There was a lot of hate out there. I've been fighting a good fight out there on Knicks Twitter and on other hater NBA Twitter after a 1 game overreaction. Apparently, Knicks fans are the only fans that get irrationally confident after their team wins a series and that we should be humble and whatnot, but whatever. Yep. That makes no sense whatsoever. But only people without teams or people who root for multiple teams feel that way. So
legit. Bums. Just call them what it is. Fucking bums. Yep.
I'm pulling up mine right now.
Oh, all right, my fault. I'll go first. So I'm gonna start. So on Twitter, April 29th. I think this was in reply to something, but I'm viewing it as a standalone tweet. Okay, yeah. So at NBA New York, which is Knicks Stand account, posted a picture of RJ Barrett holding what appears to be the draft board from 2019. Shows Zion, Ja, RJ, DeAndre Hunter, Garrett. This wasn't the actual draft order. This was the projections. And he's putting X's on all of the people who are eliminated. Just so happens RJ is the last man standing. Thus, the caption is last man standing. So Rafael Guerrero, his Twitter name is at Jimmy_Buckets12, says Kobe White is better than RJ Barrett.
That's what I was told.
Bruh. Kobe White was better than RJ Barrett. And honestly, hearing that is so absurd to me, because that means that they think that they have 5 players better than RJ Barrett and they still can't get out the play-in. That's super tough. Chicago. All this talent. Did you got yours?
I got a couple. All right, so we talking about it. So we're gonna give this is slander. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is slander. So first of all, this was a big consensus on Knicks Twitter. I want to say Saturday. One of the main things riled us up was Michael Rappaport.
Oh,
Michael Rappaport.
Absolutely disgusting.
Decided to go at one of Knicks Twitter's finest, Live Like Lefty. Shout out Lefty.
Yeah, Lefty.
Hilarious. The Toxic Boys, as they call them. Him and the guy that always talks in all caps. They're bands.
They vibe together.
Yeah, they vibe together. But so this is why I can't stand people who like celebrity Knicks fans. Like, I hate when y'all try to make Stephen A the mascot for Knicks fandom. I hate when y'all have like Michael Rappaport on these national pundit shows to talk about Knicks fans. Like, have some decency. Call up Tracy Morgan. Tracy Morgan's at every Knicks game. Do thick or thin. Call up Ben Stiller. Like, call up the real Knicks fans. Like,
there's enough high-profile Knicks fans out there.
We have Celebrity Row,
where you don't have to resort to Michael Rappaport.
Michael Rappaport and freaking Stephen A. Smith, bro. Like, we don't want to hear. Stephen A. Smith was telling us that the season was a failure if we didn't beat the Cleveland in the first round, bro. Like, that's what he was saying. Like, to justify his Donovan Mitchell crush, bro. Like, that's nasty work. So that's neither here nor there. So Lefty and Michael Rappaport got into it, in which Lefty put on Twitter that that they needed, like I just said, sports pundits needs to stop inviting Michael Rappaport on television, and stop taking Knicks opinions from Stephen A. Smith, because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. I agree with this 1,000,000%.
100%.
Because if you listen to anybody on national media talk about Knicks, you could tell that they literally have not watched the Knicks game in at least 5 years. And it's nasty work.
It's nuts because, like, they get paid too.
Yes.
And, like, the Knicks are on national television a bunch and they still don't watch the games.
But listen, I understand. You don't want to watch the games. Kevin Durant, the people that's going to get you the national media clicks. Like, I understand media. I understand. That's why local radio and local podcasts in like centric areas get a lot more plays than national media, because we watch the team. We watch the games. We're watching 82 games and reporting on this. Like, we went through a whole season where we watched every game, basically. You get what I'm saying? So, like, they're not watching every game. So
all they're seeing, the highlights.
Yeah, they just coming out with the highlights, and they talking about James Dolan needs to sell the team. Like, they still using that narrative from 6 years ago to justify why they don't like the Knicks.
The man has done nothing wrong since 2020.
So Rappaport goes at Lefty and posts a picture of Lefty in a Houston jersey, right? Let's be clear. My first thought, if you didn't understand what was in the photo, you would think, why would Lefty have on a Houston jersey? But if you just took 3 seconds,
not even that long,
you would know that that's not a Houston Rockets jersey.
Yep.
It is a University of Houston jersey. You know who went to the University of Houston, ladies and gentlemen? Our starting shooting guard, Quentin Grimes.
Yes.
Which you would know if you were a Knicks fan.
It made no sense to me because the colors were not Houston Rockets. So even if he didn't know that Grimes went to Houston, which he should have, like they mentioned it a lot. We drafted him. He had a whole player profile that we all had to watch.
First round pick.
Yeah, first round pick. Even if you missed that, it's not a red Houston jersey. The jersey was like blue and yellow. Like it's not Houston colors. So you were trying to say he's not a real Knicks fan. What team do you think he's a fan of? What yellow? Team? Where's yellow and blue in place for Houston? Like what? I didn't even get it from his perspective because it's like, was he trying to say he's a college fan? Like, it just made absolutely no sense. And the entire of Knicks Twitter chimed in to kill this man.
Yes. In unison. It was a beautiful thing.
It was a beautiful
to watch.
Moment. It was so
to watch
good.
From the sideline.
Yes.
Absolutely cook him and tell him that this is exactly why you do not need to be speaking for Knicks Twitter or for the Knicks fan base at all. Yeah. Like, and that's the problem. Like, and I understand some people understanding, like, those are the fans that we need to excoriate ourselves from. Like the fans that come around and then feel like they need to be the voice of reason. Like, at some point in time, like, we're just fans, bro. Like, the key word, fanatic. We root for our team. Like, you expect to, if you're a fan of a team, you're gonna have irrational confidence for them. Like, but I also don't want to hear anything about these fans that jump. Like, there is photographic evidence. Once again, I am of the firm belief that if you are going to be a mop, do not be a mop publicly. Like, that is my mantra.
You should not be a mop.
Be a mop in silence. Be a mop privately. There is photographic evidence of Michael Rappaport in a New Jersey Nets jersey in the Barclays.
In the Barclays Center.
Like, come on, bro. And I'm supposed to take you serious? You are unserious, bro. Unserious fan. Because there's no Knicks fan that will be like you and even Spike Lee. When Spike Lee was in the Barclays, I'm like, Spike Lee, what are you doing there? I will watch playoff basketball. So watch it in your house. You spend actual money to go sit courtside at a Barclays game and you're a Knicks fan? Come on. What are y'all doing?
That's not what we do as Knicks fans.
Not for the love of the game. Not for the love of the game.
That's not what we're here to do at all. So my last thing on Michael Rappaport, and I do think we're giving this a sufficient amount of time because Knicks Twitter was definitely cooking him. It was beautiful to watch everybody come together and agree on one thing, because we do not agree on anything on Knicks Twitter. But the entirety of Knicks Twitter agree that Michael Rappaport is a fucking idiot. And that's hard to do. However, my thing, and the reason why I think like Fox Sports 1 and like all these, random national media outlets, they bring on people like Michael Rappaport, is because I think everyone else is busy being famous. Like, Michael Rappaport is some mid. So they just call him up. And they're like, yo, bro, what you doing? He's like, I'm not shooting a movie. I'm not shooting a stand-up special. I ain't doing shit. Let me come on your show. When they call Fat Joe, he's like, I'm making music. They call up Tracy Morgan. He's like, I'm doing a movie. They call up Ben Stiller. I'm being famous, doing a movie.
Directed.
They like, damn, who do I call? Guess I call Michael fucking Rappaport. That's my theory. Some man. I did want to give a Knicks for Click shout. So at Brunson Muse did the Lord's work, and he did the Lord's work, and I'm just preaching the gospel. So I'm just the messenger. I'm not the message. Okay. I'm just giving the message, because at Brunson Muse on April 24th at 1:49 p.m. posted a graphic that they made The caption said laughed, called him undersized, mid, overrated, and overpaid. Who's laughing now? So first we got Jordan. At There Goes Jordan. Whenever I think a player got overpaid, I just remind myself that Jalen Brunson got $100 million. Everything seems reasonable when I think about that. Yeah, you're an idiot.
Man.
At Tay T99, overpay Brunson doesn't help the Knicks. Yep. Nope, you're an idiot. At No Shame in Anime Pod, no shame in Anna, and instead of anime, they just got anim and a 3 for the E. Still submit. I'm sorry, but Jalen Brunson getting 4 years, $110 million isn't good. He had a couple breakout games, and now he's worth that type of money. Overrated and overpaid. He is definitely gonna flop. He did not. Not only did he not flop,
that was not the information.
He sent y'all a packet. So Brunson Muse goes on, and honestly, we might put a link to this tweet in like the show notes because this is really important that this message gets out. He has like 3 pictures of this. It keeps getting better. Brunson, Barrett, Reddish, Randall Robinson, playoff team, ? Outrageous giving that guy kind of money who's kind of a nice player, but Brunson is not the savior of the New York Knicks. At HK, HCon 2K 62822. This is my favorite one. All that just to miss the playoffs. HK is a Bulls fan.
Clearly.
Which is tough because the Bulls did not make the playoffs, but the Knicks did. So that's
that
common.
Happened. That was something that happened.
Beautiful work. Thank you, Brunson Muse. We are not. Keep it up. We need you doing the work.
The deliverer of the gospel.
The deliverer of the gospel.
Yes, indeed.
Thank y'all for tuning into another episode of the Upstate New York Knicks podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe this podcast wherever you're listening to it at. Leave comments, leave ratings, all those things help us. We are living in the glory time, like
glory days.
The glory days. We are gonna tell our children about this Knicks team because I think they're special. And I think they're just getting started. Yep. So, enjoy this time truly. Be sure to follow the podcast if you aren't already at Upstate_Knicks. I did want to shout out Beggs. Beggs, if you made it this far, you are my guy. I appreciate you finally giving the Maple Mamba his flowers that he deserved. I appreciate you admitting that Donovan Mitchell is some mid when he got sent to jail. He is just another prisoner at San Quentin. But follow us at Upstate_Knicks.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to my cousin-in-law, Sean, as well. My boy is our number one fan. He is he literally he messaged me on Facebook the other day and goes, "Yo, tell me what I got to do to get these episodes out a little faster."
I'm crying. Like I said, I need the instant reaction.
He always shows us love on Facebook. He's active in the group, active in the chat. So shout out to you, bro. I know he's going to listen to this. He listens to every episode.
Appreciate
and he says we're the best Knicks podcast out there. So listen to him.
He's correct.
He is giving you correct information.
And God knows things.
He knows things about the sport and about the Knicks. So shout out to him. But yeah. Thank you guys per usual. Checking us out. Make sure you follow us everywhere at Smooth Finley ENT. Follow the potty everywhere at Upstate_Knicks.
Yep.
Everywhere. Engage. Join the Facebook group. We are in the heat of the playoffs, and I know you need some Knicks content. We are talking Knicks. We are all very furious that Tomas Thibodeau decided not to play Obi Toppin.
Yes. Honestly, now that we virtual, we should start bringing people on.
Oh, we will.
Like,
we will. Don't say that out loud.
Oh yeah. People be like, "Oh, word,
word." We pulling up within reason. Within reason.
We ain't bringing no fans of the team we're currently playing. I can't do that because I'm gonna want to fight.
I'm absolutely gonna call your favorite player a bum, and you possibly a bum to your face, and we don't want that.
We don't want to start that drama just because. If we do that, there needs to be a reason. Oh man, but nope. Thank y'all for tuning in. This is another episode of the Upstate New York Knicks podcast. Peace.
Peace.